Thrifting ain't easy, unless you're watching me. Welcome back. You're watching the Thrift Store Rundown, where we bring Hollywood home on a budget. And once again, I do apologize for the ongoing construction noise in this apartment. Like a piece of scrap lumber through a table saw, this is yet another annoying day in my life as a Hollywood bargain hunter. But that deters me little, because what I have for you today is another rather exemplary purchase I made as a Hollywood bargain hunter. Throughout the week, we're talking about finding ways to get buzzed, organic and inexpensive. At least inexpensive on my end. Next up, living a healthier lifestyle. So many components come into play, but we're going to narrow it down to just 5 core elements. Nutrition, exercise, style, inspiration, and balance. And I never thought I'd say this, but if any group of individuals were to school us on the secrets to a healthier, balanced life, in this case, it ought to be the cast of NBC's lone surviving soap opera, which you can only see on Peacock now. Days of Our Lives. This is their Better Living Healthy Lifestyle book, co-authored by co-executive producer Greg Meng and Eddie Campbell. It was produced in-house, published by Source Books, and purchased from RWB, read by a Blue Thrift Store, for $4.99. For the most part, the cast of this venerable soap opera eschews the hoity-toity haute couture A-lister Hollywood lifestyle. They're much more grounded than that. At least I like to think. This book will definitely provide a good illustration for that. But before we get into the book, we have a rather glamorous housekeeping matter to address. As you can see, this is an autographed copy of Days of Our Lives Better Living. I was so stoked to see this, even though I'm kind of a soap opera novice. Eventually, though, all of them, Days of Our Lives, General Hospital, Bold and Beautiful, will have to make their way to the table. I estimate between 7 to 9 autographs, maybe 8. I do know that this is Greg Meng's autograph and this is Eddie Campbell's autograph because their signatures are most closely aligned to their names. But the rest I can't really identify. These autographs right here, which is why I need your help. Can you ID them? More importantly, can the person who previously owned this signed copy ID these autographs? I hope they do. I'd so like to thank them for that, and more importantly, for the courageous move of donating this to the thrift store. It's not easy if you're a Days of Our Lives superfan, even though I'm not. So hopefully you can ID these autographs. I asked on Instagram, nobody answered. But what about you? Do you know who signed this? Let me know. Anyway, let's get started. As we said on Monday during our ATK New Essentials Cookbook review, a good way to get buzzed right from wake-up call is having a good breakfast. And so, veterans Bill and Susan Seaforth Hayes provide their morning boost recipe. Starts your day off on the fast track with a mixture of yogurt and superfoods like walnuts and berries. So a good part of this nutrition chapter is all about recipes. And snacks. Healthy snacks at that. This is Melissa Reeves' chicken pot pie, made from scratch. This recipe is not only delicious to taste, but also heartwarming and packed with comfort. Since I'm not into Days of Our Lives that much, I'm just going to leave their character names down below on the screen as we go forward, so you can ID them yourself. I just wish they had a full photo photograph of the chicken pot pie, but I'll settle for Melissa. She's quite a looker. Wholesome and lovely. Here we have Joe Mascolo's pasta misto mare. It's a seafood-based pasta with a rather operatic name. Pasta misto mare. Did somebody say pasta, pasta, pasta? This is delicious and nutritious. Much unlike my Italian opera. Sorry, but it just had to be done. As is you serving this with a lovely glass of red wine. Above all else, stay hydrated. Get some water in your system. Not every now and then, but often. Hourglasses may be pushing it a little bit, but however you can get it, do it. And if there were any good time to incorporate a couple of thirst trap photos, as the kids call them nowadays, this would definitely be it. I count 1, 2, and 3. Galen Goering, Eric Matzoff, and Camila Battis. But you can count how many thirst traps there are here depending on your taste. We're on to the exercise section now. And the cast members get their exercise in any number of ways. Hiking, walking, dancing. My favorite, though, is swimming. And once again, that's where Melissa Reeves comes in. Living in California, you can swim all year round. For me, as a Northeast resident, all it takes is a trip to the Lou Costello pool in Patterson, a pair of goggles, and I just go to town. But if all else fails, you can just try a local gym, like Kristen Alfonso. Or if you have a home gym, that would work too. But hey, this is the closest you may ever get to getting a workout with Kristen Alfonso. And who among us would pass that up? We're into the style section, and really the overarching message for this section, according to the cast, is not to overcomplicate matters such as fashion and beauty, and not to follow too many trends. Find one that works for you. I like to adopt and adapt. Make the trend work for you, just as much as Nadia Bjorlin is making this work for her. Are you kidding me? I think you might have a pattern going on here. You can just look at her close up and know she's going to be quite a recurring character in this review, if not a main cast member on the show. And again, I don't watch Days of Our Lives. The soap opera du jour around here is All My Children because I covered that the most. That's ABC. But if we have some real sizzling incentives here to keep following Days of Our Lives, oh, I'm all eyes and ears. Then again, a suit is to a guy what a dress is to a gal. And in my view, few individuals in Salem rock suits like the late John Aniston, aka Victor Kiriakis. So named up here, so I don't have to label it down below on the screen. In real life, John Aniston is a little more casual. Like father, like daughter. Good old Jen. May God rest him. John Aniston. Back to the dresses, though. In this case, they're ode to the best LBD. And yes, Eileen Davidson can work it. But for me, the gold medal goes to Nadia Bolland's little black dress. I told you she'd be a carry character for this video. If you can only look at her, even in silence, you'd understand why. I feel a spell coming on. Let's move forward, yeah, before I start drooling. We're in the inspiration section. They, like you, can find inspiration through nature, through family, through hobbies such as playing the guitar or painting. And since I allowed myself 2 treats, I think it's only fair to allow you 2 treats. It's all about balance, after all, which is the last chapter in here. So, song Christian, painting, without a shirt. If that's not a treat for you, there are others to consider. But, again, it's all about balance. And I think this ties in nicely to the last section, which again, is balance. Inspiration, balance, one and the same. Whether it's doing charity work, or retail therapy, like Nadia Bolland here. It's imperative to find balance in your everyday life. As you can gather right now at the conclusion of this book, I have a thing for Nadia Bolland. She is smoking hot, and she shares one of my primary tastes in a semi-fine life. Seriously, you and I need to hook up. If for nothing more than the trade secrets on retail therapy and secondhand shopping. I'm more of an expert when it comes to the latter. You're more of an expert when it comes to the former. We'd make a good team. Consider it a friendly proposition. All in all, the cast members have managed to incorporate the following into their daily routines. 1. Eating regular diets of salmon and other fish, greens, and fruit. 2. Drinking recommended daily amounts of water. 3. Understanding the value of getting a good night's sleep. 4. Stimulating their minds with outside hobbies, interests, and passions. 5. Finding fulfillment in giving back to others. Stretching routinely to stay flexible. And finally, exercising regularly. All 7 of these traits are part of the key to better living. Kudos to Tracy Morris and John Russo Photography here for the awesome pictures all throughout. Really, this book has it all. It's nutritious, it's strong, it's certainly stylish, it's inspirational, without being obnoxiously so. It won't make you shed a tear, but it will make you go, and and oh, especially if you're like me and you have the biggest thing for Nadia Bjorlin. And it's well balanced. Above all else, it is just exponentially attractive. Almost all of them are, but all of them are in terms of their good-natured souls. And for me, that's what counts. It's all about being balanced. And all in all, they really are balanced. They nailed this balancing act. And when it's all that, it gets all this. The max of 5 out of 5 claps. If only Drake Lamoy could have chimed in. If you know friends, you know who I'm talking about. If not, then stay tuned for what's on the docket for tomorrow. But in the meantime, all of our hourglasses will run out of sand soon. If you want to keep a few extra grains in yours, start with this. You will have to work for it. But in the end, no pain, no gain, and no more grains. Here's what's coming up next. For violating Glenn Quagmire's rule on the sanctity of marriage, you know Glenn Quagmire from Family Guy, they get put on the back of the line. Just for. Thanks for tuning in. Just so you know, there's no limit to bringing Hollywood home on a budget. Please go ahead and check out another awesome review like this one by clicking here, and make sure you subscribe by clicking here. Until next time, I'll catch you, as I always do, on the flip side.